Hello everyone, this is Kubo and this is my laundry talk. Hello, this show is for my language improvement, nothing else. So I will talk whatever I want to talk. And today I am going to talk about motivation created by guilt. Or guilt-based motivation. I'll talk about that. So let me explain what the topic exactly I'm trying to talk here. The other day I was thinking about what's my motivation and what makes me move forward or get stuff done. And the first thing I came up with is very positive, which is I want to impress someone I like. And that's genuinely one of the biggest motivation that I have. And I don't think there isn't, maybe there is a separate problem that I can think of, but either way, that's not the topic I wanted to talk, because the other motivation that I have is that, I don't want to do this, but if I don't do this right now, that causes some problems, that causes some troubles to other people, my clients, whatever. So I have to do this. I feel guilty if I don't do this. That kind of motivation. I'm sure that people actually experience something like this also. But when I think about my life, I definitely do think that a lot of times I do stuff based off of the guilt I may experience and preventing for me to feel that way, so I just do those things. And is there something wrong with it? I don't know. I'm not fully sure it's healthy though. So I wanted to talk about this just to figure out what's up with it, and also at the same time then how I can shift those guilt-based motivation to something more positive, coming out from wanting to do it instead of I'm forced to do this. Yes. So I will give you an example of, let me explain this. I mentioned that my motivation is coming from, majority is coming from the desire to impress someone I like. But that actually leads to other motivation, or oftentimes in my head it gets mixed with the other motivation, which is guilt-based. Because someone I like is doing so much for me, if I don't do this right now, that may causes some troubles, that may causes some delay of the things we do daily life. Does it make sense? I will give you some example. Don't get me wrong, my partner never forces me to do this. But my partner, my husband, is someone I genuinely love. I always wanna impress him. I always have desire to make him, not make him. Anyway, I always want to impress him, right? So in that sense, I do laundries, for example. I mean, this is my hobby right now, so it's a little bit different. But for example, other chores like a dishwasher, cleaning a house, blah blah blah. I genuinely do this just to that sounds not healthy, but I just want to present myself in a good partner, and that's something I genuinely enjoy to feel that way. So that's one of the big motivation for me to do those chores, right? But when I'm not, especially like when I'm in a bad mood, like you know, everyone has moody weekend. Everybody has moody week, month, whatever. And when I'm experiencing those moments, that motivation actually shifts. That I want to do this to impress, I want to do this to make things easier here. From there to, oh, I don't want to do this at all. But if I don't do this, it causes messy house, and then messy house leads to messy emotional environment. It's very connected to me. So in that case, that causes other inconvenience. I feel bad, I feel guilty. So before feeling that, I'm just gonna do all those things just to avoid feeling those guilt. And then that's one example. Other example, for example, when I work, there are a lot of times, for example, I am scheduled as let me just explain my job. So I work at bank, and then 40% of the time I'm in the telework. I in the front and then do all those, you know, basic transactions, and then another half, like 60%, I work as advisor. So I do open the account, I do change the account type, or even personal lending, XYZ. So, and then when I'm scheduled as advisor, I can just do advisor. If there is no appointment, I can use those time to however I want to, right? Like, you know, using for admin time, using for learning time, XYZ. However, a lot of times, especially now, we have such a short staff. So even though I'm not asked, I feel so much guilt not being in the front and helping dealing with all those customers in the front. I just genuinely can't handle those, like, oh, even though I am free right now, I'm doing for my tasks. And I'm still doing my tasks. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not scrolling my phone or anything. I'm just doing my stuff that I need to get it done. But just because, I don't know, nobody's watching me, but I feel like, you know, I'm spending those time just for myself, and I'm ignoring the team. So I feel guilt. So that actually, I don't know, motivation is the right word, but basically make myself move to front and help them. And again, if that's genuine cooperation from me, let's just say, oh, it's really busy in the front, and then I'm just doing my job, so I would like to help them, you know, and then make it smooth operation, that sounds fine to me. However, how I think it's right now is based off of, oh, I don't want to do that because I need to get my things done too, but because this is a harsh situation for the front line, okay, I'm gonna go there, I feel bad, blah blah blah. So again, it's just based off of guilt. I don't want to feel those guilt. I genuinely feel guilty while I'm not doing those things, and I just basically, you know, kick myself out from my office and then do those jobs. But at the end of the day, okay, for example, that affects my performance as well, because for those time I can use those admin time or calling my leads so that I can actually I actually get more units. at the end of the day, how I'm evaluated is not the corporation, honestly. It's just based off of those units, sadly, but it's a fact, right? So, and then now because I was doing all those things based off of guilt, and then okay, I'm doing for my team, I cannot keep feeding this guilt, but because it's not like I wanted to help them. When I'm in a review and then if I'm told that, oh, you're not getting enough, unit, that makes me feel very defensive. Like, oh, but like I was helping the front line so much because, not because I wanted, but because I felt like I have to, but actually no one was asking me, right? So that leads to another conversation that, okay, so it's that your time management fault. Like, it's not that this team asked you to do that, but you decided to do that. And again, nobody knows what's going on in my head, right? And no one knows that I was doing based off of guilt. But those guilt motivation always leads to the conversation of, never leads me to somewhere positive. And because like it leads to resentment to my partner, it creates the defensiveness at the work environment. I don't like that. Baseline though, I'm getting things done. So in that sense, maybe it's not entirely negative. Like there's a balance between good and bad. But now my question is how I can shift those guilt-based how I can shift from guilt-based motivation to more like a positive motivation that I can happily do that. Let me think. I don't know. Is it possible? Is it? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think to make a shift, one thing I can think about is for the guilt-based motivation, I do things based off of how I am seen. I genuinely worry that the other people will resent me if I don't do those things. Excuse me. So that's one perspective, and when I do things for pure motivation, I do it because I want to do it, because I feel like doing it. So in that sense, I've been talking to myself about this so many times, but I need to focus on what I want to do, focus on what my desire is. Because those resentment, because those emotion that I'm seeing negatively suppress my desire that masks what I want to do. Now I listen to what I think, what other people think about me. Rather, I listen to myself. So little by little, probably it's a good idea for me to listen to what I want to do and be honest to myself first. I don't have to put it out there, right? But at least talk to myself. What do I want to do? What matters at this moment? Is this something that teamwork matters to me more now, or my time matters more now? by helping them, there's a merit and demerit of helping, team, right? So that sacrifice worth it for me, not for team, no. Just be able to listen to me, right? I think that's very big thing. Those guilt-based, again, is not healthy for long term. So in that sense, yeah, that's another thing, right? So my next question becomes then, like, how I can listen to myself, how I can be honest to myself, right? And one thing is, the biggest honesty is sitting and initial thoughts, initial reaction happens in me. Because I never react to it just when I feel it. Does it make sense? Like, let's just say customer is upset and then they said something very hurtful to me. My initial thoughts are very upsetting, like, oh my god, why do you say that to me? But I never react physically like that yet. I take a moment in me, and what was that? What does that mean? But when I'm upsetting, right? And that doesn't mean that I am gonna allow myself to react immediately to those things. However, I need to, because it has been easier for me to just ignore those emotions, rather listen to myself and then calm down. I just ignore those emotions. Oh, that didn't happen. I didn't have that kind of emotion. I never feel that way. And just continue calmly everything, and that's how I've been doing, which is not terrible. It's not terrible. However, it actually numbs my emotion. It actually masks how I actually feel. So in a sense, I definitely want to listen to how I actually think and acknowledge that. That's something I need to do. I need to practice. Because right now, again, I've been faking, or I've been ignoring those negative emotions in me because I don't want to be reactive. That actually let me forget about those things. Even though it's there, my brain feels it, but somehow at some level of nerve system actually cuts those emotions down and eliminates, so that makes me feel like, oh, that doesn't exist. But that leads to me, as that actually connects to other things, which is I am frustrated, I am so stressed. However, I am not sure why I'm so stressed about these things. Like, what's wrong with me, right? And that's not healthy. Even when I talk to my therapist, I hadn't been able to honest emotionally in a way. And this is so natural to me. I never really thought about it, right? But the more I do this laundry talk, and the more I talk to myself, I just realized that there are actually a lot of emotions that I had been ignoring. So it's good. It's so good. It's refreshing. It's crazy to me. It's something I have been very comfortable with. So, but I do recognize that I need to change at a certain level. So yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for your time. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, weekend, wherever you are. And I will see you soon. yeah, I'm about to go to haircut, so I gotta go. I hate to leave these things like in the middle. I would like to just finish each task and do next things. So let me just quickly finish this and go to the next place. I gotta find what to wear still though. Oh, and this whatchamacallit, allergy right now is terrible. I hate this. I wish like I wish we have medicine that actually cure this. Seriously, okay, I'm gonna wear this. Seriously though, this allergy is, I hate that not everyone has this, so not everyone understands this struggle. And because it's not like cold, so you can still function in a way, you can still work and you can still do 80% of the things. However, you have to spend your 120% of the energy to be at the same level with other people, I feel like. So that sense, it's terrible. I do wish that people recognize these problems and then be nice to us and maybe give a raise. I know it doesn't work like that, but I just hate this allergy season. Almost done, almost done. I gotta go, I gotta do other stuff. This long hair is gone. I'm not gonna make it that short, but I will make it short. Alright.